All right, buckle up, because today we are diving into a face-off for the ages, huh? Bruce Lee versus Jet Li.
Now that's a question that gets the blood pumping.
It really does. And, it's fascinating what you dug up about these two. You've got to hand it to our listeners for sending in some really interesting deep dive requests, this one especially.
Yeah, the research here is top-notch, and, it's more than just a movie fight fantasy.
Exactly. It's about digging into their real styles and philosophies, like almost a window into what a fight could really look like.
Yeah, like what made them tick as fighters, right? And what we can learn from that.
Totally. So let's start with Bruce Lee, right?
The dragon himself.
Right. The legend, and everyone knows those incredible movies, but when you look at his Jeet Kune Do, The Way of the Intercepting Fist, you sent that in, right? It's fascinating. It's all about efficiency.
Adaptability, like water?
Exactly. It's like he wasn't limited by one rigid style, always changing to fit the situation.
Exactly. He really emphasized that.
And this wasn't just theoretical, right? Lee walked the walk.
Oh, absolutely. He had the real-world experience to back it up.
Yeah. From street fights to training with masters from all different backgrounds, he knew a real fight. Total chaos.
Totally unpredictable.
So then on the other side, you've got Jet Li. This is a guy who's practically synonymous with Wushu.
The art of fighting, and I mean RT.
Right. And you sent over those notes about Wushu forms, and I have to say, they're mesmerizing.
It's like poetry in motion, isn't it? The speed, the agility, that incredible precision.
Yeah. And Lee just executes it flawlessly, like a dance almost.
A very, very dangerous dance.
Exactly. But that kind of leads to the question that you raised. How does all that precision translate to a real brawl? No rules, no choreography, just pure instinct.
Right, and that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to master those forms, but what happens when someone throws a punch you weren't expecting?
Exactly. It's like a beautiful dance, sure, but what happens when someone steps on your toes?
Exactly. You bring up a crucial point about Lee's Wushu background, right? The intense discipline, the focus, those reflexes honed over years, that could be a huge asset in those first few critical seconds.
Oh, absolutely, especially against someone who's not expecting that level of speed.
Right, but then you have Bruce Lee, right, whose entire philosophy is about adapting to the unexpected. No wasted movement. Every move is designed to end the fight as quickly as possible.
It's like the maximum impact, minimum effort.
Exactly. Almost like he saw efficiency as its own weapon.
That's a great way to put it.
Think of it like this. Other martial arts, they're like carrying around a giant toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Lots of tools for different situations, but you might not have time to find the right one in the heat of the moment.
Right, whereas Lee
was the tool. Always morphing, always adapting, always ready.
So are we saying in this hypothetical showdown, it's Bruce Lee who comes out on top?
It's more about appreciating each fighter's strengths, right? You can't deny Lee's technique. One clean hit from him with that wushu power and speed would be absolutely devastating.
Oh, for sure.
But then you have Lee, who thrives in chaos. Someone who's not bound by a fixed set of moves, someone who can adapt on the fly and end a fight quickly. That's a very dangerous combination.
That's so true. It's like you're saying, there's no easy answer. It's about the whole approach.
Exactly. And, this actually goes way beyond just martial arts. It speaks to this idea of evolution and adaptation in any field, right?
It's like that old saying, adapt or die.
Exactly. You see this in nature all the time, right? The species that survive are the ones who are most adaptable to change.
And that's something our listeners can really relate to, whatever their field is. You, as a listener's profession interest, you're dealing with new challenges and unexpected situations all the time, right? It's that Bruce Lee mindset of adaptability that can be so crucial.
Absolutely. It's about thinking on your feet, being able to improvise.
It's funny, this whole conversation got me thinking, what about someone like Jackie Chan? His whole style is built around using your environment, turning everyday objects into weapons. That's another level of adaptability right there.
Absolutely. Jackie Chan's a master of improvisation, always thinking outside the box.
It makes you wonder, how would he fit into a matchup like this? So many possibilities, right? And that's something for you to ponder, After this deep dive into the philosophies of Bruce Lee and Jet Li, what other martial arts matchups spark your curiosity? Let us know.